Good morning. Good morning from the Chicago area. How are you today? Who's all here with me? Come take a look. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, everyone. It's not morning for all of you. I know, Richard, you're in Amsterdam. Where are you joining us from, everyone? Give us a concept. Give us an understanding. Where are you today? And I'm so glad that you're with us here. I am seeing, who else am I seeing? Amrine, I'm seeing us. Where are you joining us from? Svalbard, from the northernmost tip of Norway, quite possibly. And I see Frey Kalaf. Where are you here from? Happy New Year. Yes, Happy New Year to everyone. A wonderful New Year. We're moving into a 1 year, right? A year of new beginnings. Wonderful new beginnings. Transformations. I see Olga. I see Kate from the Okanagan. I see Raquel. Snowy Netherlands. It's snowing in the Netherlands. It's snowed here a little bit a couple days ago. It's just melting. Happy New Year from Argentina. Bahia Blanca, Argentina. Christopher Lake from Saskatchewan. Vancouver Island. Kate from Vancouver. Hi, everyone. And Dubai, of course. It would not be a wonderful New Year without Dubai. Idaho. Sweden. Okay, who's from Sweden? Let's see. Evelisa is from Sweden. Hello, I play with the names. I try to say them, but who really knows? But really from Vancouver Island now, I see. Okay, Kate. So, interesting concepts. What's been happening for everyone over the New Year's? Hopefully, we're getting rid of the idea of resolutions, which generally seem to set us up for failure. New Year's resolutions, we hold on to them for as long as we can, and then we don't, because when we resolve to do them, it means it's taking effort. It's not something we really want to be doing to begin with. Quite that way. We want the outcome of it. Maybe it's not about making a resolution. Maybe it's about becoming some of these things. It's much easier if we can become them. And becoming them is an interesting concept too. Is looking at what we're looking for. What is it that we're looking for? We're looking for what we don't believe that we have, which doesn't mean we don't have it. They're not one and the same. We think we're looking for what we don't have. No, we're looking for what we don't recognize. What we don't recognize that we have. That we don't recognize that we are. So in looking at some things that are going on, some of you may know that, I don't know if we didn't post the dates yet, I don't think. Some of you may know that we will be giving presentations in Amsterdam. In Amsterdam during the month of May. We'll be giving seminars there. Jillian and I will be teaching them. And we're looking forward to meeting and seeing a lot of you. Most of you. All of you, that would be great. And I'm looking at some of the concepts, some of the ideas, some of the questions that often come in during our training programs. And as I look at those, I've made a couple of notes. You might see them. We're not going to go through these notes. It was just give me a little concept. And part of the concept really is about recognition. We look at recognition, it's, in a way we'll see it as interaction. But you know, for, and Richard, we're looking forward to seeing you in Amsterdam again this year. When people first encounter the reconnection or reconnective healing, some of the questions that come up are, what am I supposed to do? And because we're so set on wanting to know what we're supposed to do, we don't always love the answer of it's kind of nothing, meaning it's no thing. But we ask, what should I focus on? What intention should I hold? Where should my hands be? How do I know if I'm doing it right? All of these things require effort, but what they really require is, that we tell the healing what we want. Really, it's the last thing we want to do. We don't want to tell the healing what we want it to do, what we want from it, how it should come about, because then everything gets limited to what we think we want. Now, how can we move past that easily and with pleasure? Not feeling like, I want what I want, but instead discovering a new freedom that no longer traps us in those wants, in those intentions, in giving intention to the healing, in steering it and directing it as if we know more than the infinite knows. If we did, you and I would be the infinite. We're expressions of the infinite. But our minds are not. Let's say, recognizing, sharing with us from infinite concept. We are looking, what we are looking for is the formless, and we're trying to get there through form. Kind of odd, kind of interesting, and yet very understandable. Sometimes in the recognition, the understanding of something, we suddenly give ourselves the freedom to release it, to let it all go. So when people say, what shall I focus on during the healings? They're thinking, what do I focus on with my mind, with my intention, what I want from it? And of course, what I speak about is feeling. I say, well, let's look at what you feel. If there's only one word I could give you, one word, it's the F word, feel. Effing feel. So why? Because what happens when we hear that word is then we try to feel, and you can't try to feel. You may only allow to feel. John Agrenon, you're at least our second person this morning in Vancouver. So, understand certain parallel words, they're not just parallel, certain words with the same meaning in the field of healing, and really in the field of life. To feel is to receive, right? You receive sensation, it's feeling. But it's also listening. You're listening for the vibration. You're hearing the vibration. That's how we hear sound or music. It vibrates, it resonates. It's something that plays with the movement in our eardrums, the resonance, the vibration, the reception, the feeling, the listening. It's feeling is listening with a different sense. You don't try to hear, do you? Are you trying to hear me? Well, unless there's something wrong with your iPhone or mine, you're probably not trying to hear me. It's just there. My voice is just here. Are we allowing it? Yes, we're allowing it without trying to allow it. How are we allowing this feeling without trying to allow it? Because once you try, you're no longer in allowance. Got it? Once you try, you're no longer in allowance. So, some of the first things we like to share with you at a Reconnective Healing seminar or a training program, whatever word we want to use for it, is to feel, to listen with a different sense, to receive. And so, one way to go about this, silly as this might sound, is relax all the muscles of your face. What do I mean? Well, if you try to feel right now, go like this with your face. Ready? It won't look pretty, but just do it. I can't see you. You can just see me. Ready? Tense all the muscles in your face. Tense them. Tense them. What can you feel? Nothing except for the muscles in your face. So let go. And what you feel is relaxation, where the tension was, where the trying was, where the effort was. Open your hands, try to feel something, move them around. What can I feel? What can I feel? What can I feel? And then let go. And feeling arrives for you, doesn't it? It just arrives when we let go of the effort. So you can't make yourself feel. You can't force yourself to feel. Let go of the trying to feel. Svalbard says it's receiving purely without any intention or trying. And it is. So, let your hands open for a moment. Let's play a little game. Let your hands open like this and just gently allow them to move. Spread the fingers a little bit just so you can feel it pull and stretch at the palm of your hands. Just move your hands a little bit. Don't worry if you don't feel anything now. You will. It will show up and sort of sneak up behind you and tap you on the shoulder. Hello, here I am. What? There it is. Just when you least expect it. That's freedom. If you have a newborn baby at home, you don't try to hear it. You hear the sounds of that infant. You don't try to hear him or her. There's no effort. So find a feeling of any kind as you play with your hand. Any kind at all. Don't bother to say, oh, it's only this, it's only that. Who cares? Just find a feeling. And as you move from one place to another, see how I'm moving my hands slowly, listening, allowing my sense to feel. To receive, to notice. Maybe there's a feeling in just one little finger in my hand. Maybe just a little feeling. And then maybe I'll move my hand one way and I'll notice a feeling in my other hand. I'll play with one feeling and see how it interacts with the other. It could be tiny little ripples. Feelings of just a little rippling in one hand. And as you move it, it makes itself known in a different area of your body. As I glide my two hands like this, Now I start to feel a sensation in my right thigh. Why? Who cares why? There's no logic to this. We say, well, there's no logic, then there's no reason. Everything has a reason. It's just that we may not understand the reason or the interaction. The subtlety of how the movement relates to a sensation or to another sensation. This is a key point in allowing your attention to recognize, your recognition to come to a level of cognitive awareness. There are no steps to becoming a healer. Now, I know a lot of you are going to bring down all these books off of your shelves that go, the 7 steps to becoming a healer, the 12 steps to this, the 15 steps to that. There are no steps. There are steps in digital music of a CD. Steps. Boom, 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 boom. Do you know that digital sound is bad for your brain? Because your brain flows with analog, like vinyl record albums. It doesn't have jolts and stops and starts. Stops and starts. Kind of like life and death in a way, huh? Start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. But they're not opposites. They're parts of one thing. Life and death are not opposites. Birth and death, those are opposites, and yet they're all a part of life. Gangaji will speak about this. Eckhart Tolle will speak about this. A lot of people will explain this. This is not my original idea. It's not. Really, what is original for any of us might just be the words with which we choose to express something. Buddhism speaks about life as an endless cycle, samsara, where forms change and death is merely a transition, right? Merely a transition, not an absolute end to anything, to consciousness, to energy. Indigenous ancient beliefs, traditions such as Aztec beliefs, see life and death as interwoven aspects of a single cosmic cycle. Sees deities as representing both aspects in a continuous dance. You're in a continuous dance. But and you've heard us say countless times, you cannot become that which you already are. You can't become a healer. To become a healer, when you're asked to become a healer, when you're asking to become a healer, you're asking to recognize your formless self. And when we don't recognize it, we think it is missing. It is not. You are formless self. Nothing's missing. Nothing in you is missing, only not recognized. Okay? There's a picture of a lamb, in case you're wondering. over my left shoulder here. Now watch. Now, you don't see it. Is it missing? Of course not. We're just not recognizing it. Shift a little bit. Okay? Shift a little bit. The healer that you are, you always are. Even before you were born into this body. Long time after. But we're learning how to play with it, how to recognize it, how to be one with it. And the key is, what did I give you? The very first word. The F word. Feel. 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 It may be confusing. That would be ineffable. But how could you have an ineffable F word? I don't know. Anyway, it's listening. And when you go, I don't feel anything, it means two things. First, it means you're trying too hard. And secondly, what it really means is you're just trying. And it's not about trying. The funny thing about books is that they're written in words. Now, they need to be written with words because we're reading them, right? Or listening, if it's an audiobook, for instance. Or in other ways, I'm sure. And yet, words are form. And now you're looking to discover the formless within you. But you're looking to do it through form. Lexi Alexandra says, healing is not acquired, it's remembered. Beautiful. Beautiful, Lexi, thank you. So we try harder. We read more words, more form. We want more steps, more form. More digital stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. Just as digital sound messes with the brain, and not in a good way. Being a form is something that as you remember who you are, you look to free yourself from, to break the constraints, okay? To, in a sense, escape if you're feeling trapped by it. I love this. Svalbard says, it's so simple until the mind lingers over truth, until the mind, which in itself is form, lingers over the truth of being, the truth of being. And that sort of clouds our recognition of this with the experiences that we have had in form. Being aware both of our wholeness and our form. Formulated. What a beautiful way of playing with the words. Formulated. Oh, and with you in the middle, that's even better. Formulated. Now, if I start off by saying you can't become a healer, people are going to go, need to go somewhere else for someone who can tell me how to become a healer. You'll never become a healer as long as you're listening to someone explaining to you how. And even then, should you find yourself as a healer, then you'll recognize you never became a healer because you already are. Isn't that a concept that just sounds frustrating? Because when we don't see something, we're looking to find it anywhere. Is it in the next book? The 7 steps to this, the 12 steps to that. It's not in the words. So let me try and give you an analogy to what it's not in the words might mean. I know you're not supposed to drink tea with the tea bags in it. I don't care. I like tea. I like my tea bags. Okay. A room is dark. You grab a flashlight. Is what you're looking for in the flashlight? No. The flashlight illuminates. It points in a direction. The light is more the formless. The light essence that we are is formless. So our words to explain and discover healing is form. It's the flashlight. It's not the answer. So Dr. Pearl, why do you write books if it's not the answer? Because it's a way to communicate. It's a way to share. It's a way to share. Dr. Sue Morter is having a new book released soon. She has an amazing way of sharing. She has an amazing way of sharing about healing. Sue Morter, M-O-R-T-E-R. There's a gift of sharing. Healing is sharing. Okay? Healing is sharing. There's no form. When I facilitate a healing for someone, I sit in presence without even thinking about it. I'm listening. I'm feeling. There's a resonance. There's a vibration. That's who you are. You are resonance. You are vibration. You are me. I am you. Everyone and everything we are one with. We live in the illusion as if there's a picture over there and there's a painting over the fireplace and there's a chair that I'm sitting on and there's something else across the room. And it's all an illusion of separation to allow us to recognize that we are one. Just like on a diamond. There are so many facets of the diamond. And they look like they're individual, separate facets. There's this one, that one, and the other one. But they're just fluctuation of the diamond. You can't remove the facet from the diamond. You can't remove the healer from you. It can't be gained to learn how to become a healer because it can't be lost. But I can pull down the shades behind me over those sliding doors, right? And then we won't see the trees or the snow outside on the ground. And we'll think, there isn't any. There aren't any trees. There isn't any snow. There's nothing there. Then we pull up the shade and we go, oh my goodness, where did that come from? As if Martians came in and dropped trees and snow in the backyard. Not noticing something doesn't mean it isn't there. Look at the color of one of the walls in the room where you are. Notice the color. Close your eyes. You might not see the color. But ask yourself, did the color disappear? Open your eyes. You might not see the wall when your eyes are closed, but did the wall disappear? Was it not there? Does something need to become that wall? No, it can't. It was always there. At least the way we think of it always. It was always there from the time you walked into the room. The truth is the wall was never there. The truth is walls aren't there. Let's not get lost there. Svalbard writes, think is the word to notice and unnotice. Good. Lexi writes, just feeling, being present in the sensation, the awareness, the subtleties. Healing isn't something. Healing is you. It's who you are. It's what you are. So, what is the greatest gift you can be taught when looking to discover the healer that you are? How to find what's been hiding from you in plain sight. It's been hiding from you, and all the while it's been in plain sight. Feel. Feel. Listen. Listen. Have you ever listened for something and maybe not heard it? You might be walking down the street with a friend. And the friend says, "Oh, do you hear that?" You know, hear what? Listen. And you listen. And there in the background you hear some music or some laughing or some talking. Oh yeah. It was there the whole time. It was there the whole time. Lexi says, it's like thinking ceases and being becomes me, all of me, right? So, don't bother to learn reconnective healing if you're looking to become enlightened. Because you can't. You can't become enlightened. You are enlightenment. You can't become a healer. You are healing itself. You're not even the healer and the healee. You are healing itself. Your enlightenment itself. We hide. When we take off our clothes, we reveal more of ourselves, metaphorically speaking. So what do you do during a healing session? Well, you probably already know the answer. You've been with us for, more than 10 minutes. You feel. You listen. You receive. And in resonance, you become clearly present. You are presence itself. Presence. That's what healing is. Presence. I know it's so simple. It's almost like, sounds stupid, doesn't it? The answer? No, it's presence. This is healing. It's presence. And during a session, I allow myself to feel, to listen, to notice what I notice within me. Notice what you notice. When you're standing with someone facilitating a healing, when you're in one part of the world and facilitating a healing for someone who's in another country, notice what you feel. Notice how, if there's a sensation in one hand, you might notice something in the other hand, or in your shoulder, or in your ear. Sound may change, pressure may change. It's simply an interaction. Nothing is wrong. Being aware of these changes with healing, nothing is wrong. It's perfect. You're perfect. And the recognition of this is truly, truly key. Okay? Truly, truly key. And I'm hitting the accept button, and we'll see if this works. Here we go. Hello, Annika. Are you there? I don't see your face, but I hear sound. Oh, oh, oh. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
What brings you here to join us today?
Um, uh, I I was at a course a long time ago,
Okay.
2013 in Stockholm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I, I hear the accent. I
yeah,
realize you were somewhere in Scandinavia.
yeah.
Yes. And what
Mm.
would you like to talk about or to share or to question today?
Hmm. Mostly I wanted to listen.
Mm, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
and reconnect.
you're more than welcome to listen, but since you ended up
Mm.
in the request box, I thought you might want to share something, which you may, if you like.
Mm. Uh, uh, yeah, I actually I felt the healing energy before I did the course.
Mm-hmm.
It came like natural to me when I was like 20. But the things I
Mm-hmm.
did naturally is very much the same as what I learned at the course. The movements of
Because
the
you,
hands and
yeah.
yeah. So I like, well, I already done this in a way.
Well, you already knew this.
Yeah,
We all know this. The
yeah,
truth is, there are no specific movements of the
no,
hands that we
no,
teach, only a way to move the
no.
hands so you begin to recognize it.
Mm,
Because the fact is, we only have two hands.
yeah,
So no matter what you try to do, unless you come up
mm,
with something that looks like this,
mm,
naturally,
mm,
the movements are all the
mm,
same.
yeah,
Healing, as you discovered, is your nature.
yeah.
And
That's mm,
what happens as we play with it
mm,
is we embody greater and greater aspects of the awareness that you already are.
mm,
But you are awareness. You are consciousness. We think that,
mm,
oh, I've become aware of something. Oh,
mm,
I have an awareness. No, you are
mm,
awareness. You are
mm,
consciousness. And for this period of time while we're here in this physical material form, we are awareness. We are consciousness. We
mm,
are focalized, condensed into matter, into material to have this experience, and then we return to the infinite that
yeah,
we are. But allowing ourselves to recognize this and to play
mm,
with this infinite being
mm,
helps not only us, but all of us with whom we interact. And so as people suddenly become free and they can
mm,
move their arms and their hands again, and they can see
mm,
again, and they can hear again, and they can walk again, we go, oh, they had a healing. Really, they just allow themselves to return to the infinite being that they are, not
mm,
just to return to a healthy point 12 years ago, but to
mm,
return to the infinite being that we are. This
yeah.
is
But
healing.
what I
Yeah.
liked about reconnective healing is that it is more playful and natural when compared to when it's a lot of technique and so yeah. So
Picasso, Picasso, the artist,
yeah,
says, he said, the more technique you have,
yeah,
the less you have.
yeah, and also that he started to paint more like a child when he put away all this thoughts about how it should be, and he just
Right.
started to play, did it more natural. So in his art, there's one can. uh, sense more of the feeling of the painting, the picture, than when it's just a copy of something. You see,
Correct.
I saw one of his exhibition in Malaga, and I really liked in what way he enveloped, developed, matured in his. It seems like he was going backwards, but in fact he was uh, learning more, becoming less adult in that sense, and became more childish or playful. So one come closer to the natural, the true natural, reconnecting to the natural.
It's the
Yeah.
form. It's
Mm,
like it's like a someone who dives off of diving boards, a professional
yeah.
diver.
Yeah.
You walk out on the form of the diving board, but
Mm,
you are never in the freedom or the magnitude of your art until you leave the diving board, until you leave the form.
mm,
And then the formless is the gift. So sometimes we
mm,
spend a lot of time on
mm.
form
Yeah.
waiting to leave it. And sometimes our insecurities keep us on that diving board, keep us in the techniques,
Mm, yeah. To compare with art is a very, very good example. I'm also
isn't it?
painting, and I went to art school when I was young, and I had too much. Uh, I had to. Yeah, I was my own hindrance by comparing myself to other artists, and so I lost the joy of painting. So I even stopped painting. "Oh, I'm not good enough, and I can't do this and that." And then, when I was like in my 40s, I got cancer, uh, colon cancer, and after all that. Uh, Surgery and treatment and all, I felt very tired. And I was thinking that I must do something, even when my body started to come back, get its strength. I felt like my soul was out of energy. Well, so I thought I must do something to regain my spirit again, my joy. And I was thinking, what do I like? I like painting. So I started to paint just without thinking that it should be extraordinary, know, just for my joy. And when I started to do that like that, more playful and without, uh, yeah, what other people would think about it, everything was uh, just came, fluently. And I had after that I've had a lot of exhibitions and sold art. Well, so it's the same journey to get back to the original urge for painting, like I enjoyed doing when I was a child.
Sometimes the school systems, because it's not you,
Mm,
sometimes the teaching methodology that we understand with our minds
mm,
is busy trying to show us how.
yeah.
And then we get locked into the how
Mm,
and trapped on the diving board instead of
yeah.
making that jump
Yeah.
that you did. And we look
Mm,
toward our teachers often to give us the guidance off of there, forgetting that our teachers
mm,
are also human beings who have been raised with this concept, which is why they're
mm,
teaching you this concept, and their parents were raised with the concept, their teachers were raised with the
mm,
concepts. And so, really, what you are a
mm,
beautiful
mm,
example of
mm,
is that it's our time and responsibility to
mm,
become the teachers of the teachers. And that's what you're doing by sharing that
mm,
gorgeous story. I promise you,
mm,
people are awakening within themselves right now in new levels and ways because of your
mm,
willingness to unveil yourself and
mm,
share what the formless in you showed you.
mm. Yeah, hope so.
Thank you so much for joining us this
Yeah,
morning.
thank you.
I could listen to your story much longer, except we're already a few minutes past our time.
Okay.
But thank you for coming. Please join
Mm,
us again tonight. See, you thought you had nothing to say. You thought you came to listen, but you see,
yeah,
listening is receiving, and we're all
mm,
receiving, and we're all
yeah.
sharing. So thank you, and thank you
Thank you.
everyone else for joining us this morning.
Mm,
And if you'd like, in about 27
mm,
minutes, you can
mm,
join us when we discuss and
mm,
share from the book Solomon Speaks on Reconnecting Your Life.
mm,
There's probably a link. Oh, here there is. There's a link right there popping up. So it'll
mm,
be at 9 a.m. California time, 12 noon New York time. UTC is, it looks like 5 o'clock, and CET is, looks like 6 p.m. So whatever it is, come find
mm,
us and join us. It is now 26 minutes away. Lots of love
mm.
to everyone, by the
Yeah,
way. It's a free interaction on Zoom.
yeah.
Bye.
Bye
See you
bye.
soon. Lots of love.
Yeah.